The Phoenix Suns now 3 games below 500 after the All-Star break. Obviously have a lot of different problems, right? This video is not meant to express the view that everything is Mike Budenholzer's fault. Things like boxing out and closing out on three-point shooters ultimately is up to the players. I get that. And I understand Bud isn't the one carelessly turning the ball over now 13.2 times per game this season. So hit the like for me and tell me in the comments what you think the Suns should do this offseason. And tell me if you think that the Suns players have given up on Bud. Because that's what the eye test is telling me. One of my first strikes is the fact that Bud does absolutely nothing to help alleviate the problems that I've mentioned. And in some cases, I would argue he exacerbates them. His lineups have many problems, but let's start with how shallow they are. It's my opinion that the only way you could get millionaires to play harder than they otherwise would is to use the only leverage you truly have. Bench them. Send a message. Oh, hey, Tyus, great job hitting corner threes tonight, but we're actually going to go ahead and play your real backup, Monte Morris, because you failed to close out on the last 3 threes that they put up. Maybe next time you'll consider giving more effort because you don't enjoy sitting on the bench next to Nick Richards, which is a whole other point we'll get to, but no, Bud doesn't punish players for poor performance or poor defense. Bud's just gonna play Bud's guys, aka Plumlee, and a whole lot more Plumlee. The 2 biggest strikes came versus San Antonio. Ryan Dunn was essentially a DNP. It was played for a grand total of 20 seconds. Completely insane and completely inexcusable. A fireable offense. After Ryan showed a bit of what he could do in the All-Star game, it was apparent that his ankle injury was healed up and that now, more than ever, it's obvious he belongs in the Suns lineup. They could really use him. He is, after all, the best defender on the team. Now, when asked about him not playing in the post-game press conference, Bud had this to say.
Yeah, I mean, we mapped out a 9-man rotation, and then we tightened it from there. So I think we went with the guys that we thought both ends of the court. We got to be able to make plays defensively, offensively.
So why Plumlee is firmly in this short rotation Bud is dead set on, not Ryan Dunn or Nick Richards, is beyond me. God only knows what Bud is actually thinking here. Now, to make my point on the Richards over Plumlee part, Nick Richards is a rebounding machine, pure and simple. The ball just finds him. It wants to be rebounded by him. It goes directly to him half the time. He started the game and played 9 minutes. In that time, he quickly and effortlessly grabbed 6 rebounds. 2 of them were offensive, giving the Suns second chance opportunities to score, which is invaluable. He never saw the court again. But you know who did for twice as many minutes? 17 to be exact. Mason Plumlee, who only grabbed 3 rebounds and scored 2 points versus Richards' 3 points. Once again, with double the time. What am I missing here? Not to mention, the Suns traded Okogie and picks for Nick Richards, all for Bud not to play him. We had Bismack Biyombo out there looking like Wilt Chamberlain. That's obviously a huge exaggeration, but you can sense it's coming from frustration, and I apologize. I know firing a coach every year is wild, and it's an absurd amount of money. Luckily, it doesn't count against our cap, but still, it's an insane amount of money to keep flushing down the toilet. But look, that's what you risk when you sign the wrong coach for the wrong players multiple times. My suggestion would be fire him and ride out the rest of the year with Fizdale. It seems like the players respect him, and he's honestly a fine candidate for an interim coach. I could see him drawing interest if he was with someone else to come in and be the coach, let alone the fact that he was here during Vogel's failings and successes. He was also here for Bud's failings and successes. So if anyone knows what needs to be changed, he's a prime candidate for that. He's also a guy that could permanently take the reins if he gets the Suns playing good enough to actually chase a play-in spot.